Well, there's a guy on the line right now that just got married to a very gorgeous woman who is also very talented in her own right. On the phone now, my quarterback from the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson. Russell?
What's up, Chris?
What's
How you doing,
up?
City girl?
I mean, I'm just
How
upset.
you guys doing? I'm just glad Dan's not on the show today.
Dan, well, he still was on the show. You know, he found a way on the show. He called in, and he was saying that Pierre Maguire was able to spot a Zika mosquito above his head and saved his life. We're still questioning whether Pierre actually knew it was a Zika mosquito, but we digress. First of all, we will get into your professional life, but personally, because of course, you know, I also cover entertainment. I had to find out you got married by reading a voiceover in the VO booth. And I was very upset because, I mean, where's my invite to the wedding? That was one heck of a wedding you had.
Yeah, it was a good wedding. It was far away, that's for sure.
Oh, that's why I didn't get the invite?
To, but
So real quickly.
You're a busy person there, Chris.
Yeah, I'm very busy. Was the wedding, obviously you guys had to work because you both have very, very busy schedules. Was that something that was planned or you kind of, I mean, it didn't look like you just threw it together. It looked like a fairy tale wedding, but how much went into the scheduling of that one?
A really good wedding planner, Mindy Weiss. She helped us big time. And
you are big time if you've got Mindy Weiss.
The toughest part was getting Earth, Wind, and Fire there, just making sure that they could do it. So we wanted Earth, Wind, and Fire to play. So they rocked the night out, and so the festivities kept going till 5:30 in the morning. The funniest part is my mom was still up in the little wine cellar area where we were having the after party. She was still up till about 6 o'clock in the morning. That was probably the best part of the whole night.
I love that.
Saying yes.
I love that. I didn't even get my parents an invite to my first wedding. And you have Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm impressed. But that's how you roll now, big time. But no, a huge congratulations. It looked absolutely beautiful. So we send our best to you and the missus. All right, let's turn our attention to the field for a second. Of course, you saw that Hall of Fame game last night was canceled. Player safety, your thoughts?
Well, I think it's important, especially when it comes to a preseason game in terms of not risking those guys' health and all that. I think it was a great job by the NFL, canceling that game if it was going to be a hazard to those guys and a potential problem for those guys. So the whole Hall of Fame game, though, I think the importance of that week more so is for the Hall of Famers. That's a special week, and there's so many great Hall of Famers being recognized, this weekend. That's a special time for those guys.
Absolutely. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, as you're watching those things, I know you always set very high goals for yourself. Do you even think that far in advance about wanting to end up in the Hall, or is it sort of just one thing at a time?
Well, I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't. Every morning I wake up, I want to be one of the greatest to play the game. And that's just kind of my mentality. I don't shy away from greatness. But it takes a lot of hard work, and I got a long ways to go. I got a lot more years to go, and a lot more playing to do. So I just take one game at a time, one day at a time, and it's important to me to just continue to win games. That's the most important stat of playing quarterback. Yeah,
you've done a lot in a very short time in the NFL. When you think back, we were talking about different memories of things. What was that moment? Of course, because you were battling it out with Matt Flynn for that starting job in Seattle, and did you remember that moment when Pete Carroll told you that the job was yours?
I do actually. I was in the locker room, and Coach had one of the equipment guys come get me, and I'm going up the steps. He said, "No, he's outside. I'm like, okay. So I go outside, and it was after my third preseason game. I started that preseason game. We played the Kansas City Chiefs, and so I go outside, and Coach, there's a basketball hoop we always have it. Coach Carroll, he's always shooting basketball. He's always, trying to do that whole thing. He thinks he's, Steph Curry or Steve Kerr, one of the two. But so anyways, I go outside and say, "Hey, I'll play one-on-one." I'm like, "This is what you want me out here for?" And he goes, "No, I just want to take you on a one-on-one real quick." So anyways, he drains the pre from outside, and he's like, "No, what I really want to talk to you about is I want to let you know that you're going to be our starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. You're going to be our next franchise quarterback, and you've proven yourself and the hard work that you've put into it. Meanwhile, I'm still thinking about my dad and just all the hard work that I put into this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
and dreams come true when you capitalize on opportunity, and that's just the truth. So I'm grateful, and I'll never forget that day.
Definitely a special moment, and of course, knowing how proud your dad would have been in that moment for sure. For you, we were talking about player safety preseason stuff, we just had Antonio on the line, which real quickly, I know you guys worked together in the off season, correct?
Yeah, he's a beast out there on the field, man.
Right?
This guy wears 10-pound weighted vest, on his chest. He wears 8 pounds on his legs, running 30 routes, and then takes it off and runs another 10. So he's a special player, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure in the way he works, and he loves the game, and he's a great football player.
You've got a ton of talent around you, but what makes Antonio so good?
Well, I think it's just his work ethic. He attacks the football. He loves playing the game. He's always got a smile on his face, and he makes the other guys around him better. So, and so it's fun to watch him play and to work out with him this off season. I got a lot of those guys on my team too. So it's always good when you surround yourself around great players, and those type of guys like Antonio Brown, Doug Baldwin's of the world, Tyler Lockett's, the Jermaine Kearse, those guys make life easy for you, And I'm excited about getting Jimmy Graham back.
Yeah,
to have that guy back, out there on the field, and Thomas Rawls. He just got cleared yesterday.
Yeah, off the pup list for you.
But all those guys have all those guys have similarities. There's the work ethic, the mindset. Those are the type of players you want to be around.
Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawk quarterback. Of course, I'm biased because I'm from Seattle, but a lot of headlines, and my dad's a diehard Seahawks fan, as everybody is in Seattle. You can't walk down the street without getting attacked up there. But a lot of the question and narrative over the last couple of years, Russell, have been this offensive line. A lot of different moving parts. You draft defensive guys, you turn them into offensive linemen. What are the question marks, if any, or sort of what is your response to people that say there are still question marks about the line?
Well, these guys are ready to go. They're going to be ready to go. I mean, Justin Britt's been working at center. Patrick Lewis is a guy who's been working at center. I've played a lot of games with and won a lot of games with as well. So, in terms of being calm there and trusting those guys up front, I completely trust those guys. And then in sense of, what we're going to do, it's all the work ethic you put in practice. I think these guys are ready to go. They're all in sync. This is a group of guys that want to be the best, that want to do whatever it takes. And we just signed Jari Evans too as well, who's an all-pro type player. He's been all-pro several years in a row and Pro Bowl player. So we're glad that we have him too, and his experience and what he brings to the table, and all the knowledge that he brings, and his work ethic and his professionalism. That's really going to transfer over. So, it's not just up to the linemen, it's up to everybody. It's up to everybody to do their part. And that's what makes this game, the game of football, the greatest game there is. And
it's a game that you decided to play. You, of course, were also drafted. You could have played baseball if you wanted to. So you're a tremendous athlete. So in the spirit of the Olympics, Russell, we are asking different guests what Olympic sport they would compete in. So what would be your sport of choice?
Oh, man. I watched a good one last night. I think it's like karate or judo.
Ooh, judo. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Night. And it only lasts like a minute. It was great. So I think I'd say judo. If not judo, I'd probably hop in the water with Michael Phelps.
Oh, yeah. Just get in line.
Yeah, I just get in line, No big deal.
It is pretty.
All his gold medals would have gone to me.
No, they would have drowned you. 19 of them.
140 gold medals.
Exactly, at last count. It is pretty cool to watch somebody that is the best at their respective sport. I know you don't like this, but I'm going to do it. Seahawks make it to the Super Bowl if fill in the blank.
Oh, man. If we win our playoff games.
Good answer. We will leave it right there. Russell, congratulations on everything, personally and professionally. You are a class act. We appreciate the time. We'll tell Dan you said hi.
Oh, thank you. I will. Tell Dan I say hello. Well. Tell Dan that you're a little bit better than he is.
Oh, we'll make sure we save that. I'll have that on a loop when he returns from Rio. Russell, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.